Welcome to the channel. I'm Uncle Mark. I'm going to be installing these Oxydo LED taillight bulbs on my wife's 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan. This should go from 2008 to I think 11, and then I think they went to real LED taillights, but these have the normal bulbs. So they're basically a couple screws. They're on here. They got special heads. They're Torx head. I'll show you what number that is right away, but it's just the two screws holding them in here. This is what the bit looks like. You can get them either in like screwdrivers, or you can get them in these, like a socket almost. Well, it's a bit. And it'll work with your ratchet from your socket set. These are T30 Torx bits. Basically, just have to unloosen them. They might be a little tight. I'll put a tool link in the description below in case you want to buy a set. I'll try and put also the screwdriver set in case. And these are becoming more and more common on vehicles, having these kind of fasteners. So it's fairly simple. That's what it looks like. But you will need this special bit to take them out. Now after you do the top one, simple, it's pretty simple. There's one below. Then I'll show you how to take this all apart after. I've included skippable chapters just in case you need, to save a little bit of time. This video is not that long anyway, but nice to spend some time together. Let's take the bottom one out too. I'll show you a couple extra tools you can use besides these if you're looking for something special. Now there are two kind of pins that go into the body right here. There's one roughly about there, and there's one roughly about there. So you have to pull the light straight back, and that might not be easy to do. You don't want to tilt it to the driver's side because you could break it. So I'm going to try and gently pull that towards me and also pull the other side of the light as well. Pull it straight towards me. You'll see when you start playing with it what I mean. It's like they're stuck into the fender now on the fender side. I'll show you from a different angle some different ways you can try and grab it, but maybe if you can get your fingers in there. You could try and pry it with a screwdriver, but between the paint and the edge of the light, right about there, where my right hand is, but chances are you're going to break the light, and you don't want to do that. So just wiggle it a little bit. I'm going to spray some WD-40 in those holes later just so that it comes apart a little easier. So there's those little pins there. I'll show you a close-up of them after when I'm putting it back in. So I'm just going to rest the light here. I don't necessarily suggest you do that, but just this is more for you seeing how it is. Now that's the bottom one is on this fan is where the bulb is. So you turn them counterclockwise. So that's lefty-loosey, right? Like that. And there's your bulb. It should just snap out. It's the old style. They can fit back in either way. I'm going to grab the new bulb now. A little bit different looking. I wish you could see the detail of this thing. There's lots of little LEDs in it. Plus they have to be able to do two different brightnesses. I'm just going to check it to make sure it works before I put everything back together. Probably not a bad idea, just in case. Parking lights, and then the signal's running. Or brake light. So it looks like it's going to work okay. Put them back in. I see the missus is checking on me, seeing what I'm doing to her van. So it's working. So let's just put them in now. Now you notice the way these little lips are on this hole. This thing only fits in one way, because every one of those cutouts is a little different size. So you'll see, if you recall which way we had taken it out, and you'll see these little fingers around here are different sizes as well. You're just lightly pushing it, and you just keep turning till it pops in. And then righty-tighty, I guess it is, huh? Turn to right, and there we go. Now there's those little holes I was telling you about that those pins pop into. I believe they're just rubber. But as stuff gets older, these pins are actually metal, I see. That one's kind of rusty looking. And dirt over time can probably get in there. So I'm just going to spray them with some WD-40 or some kind of grease or something. Just make them move a little easier. Spray the holes as well, and hopefully that'll, in the next 10 years when I have to replace them again, hopefully maybe they'll be easier to take out. Who really knows? Maybe we won't have the van in 10 years. Although we've had it for about that long already. Like I say, this is a 2010 and we're 2023 when I'm recording this. So just line those up, pop them in, the top one and the bottom at the same time. Give the light a little push or a smack. Should pop in there. And then we'll go around to the other side and we will put the bolts back in. Now for some reason I think I've lost a little bit of video here, but there's a special way that the light sits in here as well. You'll see the body kind of sticks out towards the light. It'll only fit in one way, so snug these up. Not too tight. Just snug. You don't want to reef on them. It's just going into the light itself is plastic. I'm going to use this little thumb drive or finger drive. This is a ratcheting one too. I'll put a link in the description for this as well. These are really handy. This is a 3/8 drive. Usually you can get sets for 3/8, half inch, quarter inch. So I'm just gonna, it's just a lot easier than slugging that big socket ratchet around. Then I'm just gonna tighten them up with that. Hand tight. And then we'll look at the two here and see the comparison. The LEDs are way brighter and they come on really nice and bright and fast. Not bad, huh? So that wasn't too hard as long as you have the right torque bit. If you don't have one of those, we'll put a link in the description for both either a screwdriver set or the actual little bits that you can use with your socket set. There'll also be a link for the product itself to their website, and I believe they're giving a little discount right now as well. A couple things I did notice on the Grand Caravan with this brand is, well, take a look here. You'll see how fast it is blinking. Blinking pretty quick. I thought when we first installed them, they weren't blinking that fast. Then I noticed if you have it running, take a look at this, you'll see it blinks pretty fast, but once you shut it off, it blinks slow. Start it up again, starts to blink fast again. I don't know if this is something to do with the CAN bus on the Chrysler or not, but you may find this out. It's not crazy fast, but it's fast enough, so that may be a concern of yours. I believe you can, at extra cost, get some these little resistors that plug in there that are for the CAN bus, so it doesn't get all upset. That's my disclaimer. Otherwise, I like how they turn on and off nice and quick, and as LEDs should, and they're nice and bright. Are you a subscriber? If not, subscribe down in the corner if you wouldn't mind. I've got all sorts of videos, especially on the Grand Caravan, but all sorts of different types of vehicles as well. We're adding to the list all the time. What else? Oh, talking about the Grand Caravan, let's put a playlist right here. Just above the blue circle, see the flashing yellow arrow? That brings you to a card that brings you to a Grand Caravan list of repairs. Anything else we need? There's something I'm probably forgetting. Anyway, we'll let you go. Thanks for joining us for now. Until next time, you and your family stay safe. Please subscribe and you'll get all the notifications. It's easy. The little dog will show you how. Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Just need that tray. And I believe there's a little discount that you can get through that as no.